Here with Glenn Allerton, 2011 Australian Superbike Champion for BMW, his second championship. You got to experience another side of BMW recently up my backyard, Glenn, on the GSs. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, Miles Davis from BMW has been actually saying all year, last year, to get me and Wayne from the race team to come out and ride the GS 1200s, and yeah, he wanted us to come out and have a ride. He was talking about it all year long, and then when we finally finished the championship, we said to Miles, "Come on, let's make it happen." And so we went for a ride, and we left from BMW headquarters at Mulgrave, and
so we've done about 70 Ks.
Is that all?
Yep, on our first GS ride. What do you reckon?
Awesome fun.
What are you riding?
GS 1200 Adventure. Pretty cool. Yeah, I think he gave me a bum steer with the settings, Miles, because I put it to soft and it feels really good on the dirt now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you were a hard man. I thought hard would have been the setting.
I'm a big softy. So, but I don't know what's funnier, riding this thing or watching you nearly fall off every corner. I haven't been able to stop laughing. But,
I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
it all feels good behind my handlebars.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you're going to fall, but you just look like you're going too fast for every corner you come to.
Really?
It's good fun.
Yep.
Having a blast. Haven't mastered wheeling it the way you have on the oncoming traffic yet, but I'm having a go.
What about the sideways action? Is it ever in line or what?
Nah, it's always sideways, the front and the rear.
Yeah.
So, great fun.
Awesome.
Can't believe this place exists. I never knew this existed, so really good to come out and have a look.
Yeah, we're just off the Warburton Highway. All the normal folk are cruising up and down the bitumen, but we're out here in all this fun stuff, eh?
I have no idea where we actually went, to be honest with you. It just started out, as soon as we were out of the Dandenong mountain ranges, it was just zigzags of dirt roads mixed with a bit of tar and, not a soul in sight. We basically, had free rein the whole way, and the riding was just awesome. I saw a side of Victoria that I didn't even know existed. We did a whole pile of riding, and we ended up staying in a town the first night called Jamieson, and Miles seemed to be a local down there. Like, everybody knew him. The guys at the local servo knew him, and the people at the pub knew him. So it was really good because it was a comfortable feeling there, and I had an absolute blast. Never would have ever thought that riding a GS 1200 Adventure would be so much fun. Being a racer all my life, it was always about race bikes, and I used to look at bikes like that and think, oh, what are you going to do with that? It's no fun. And I just had an absolute blast for 2 days straight.
Well, where you would have stayed at Jamieson, like I say, that's my backyard, is the Courthouse Hotel, and you did German Spur Track, and I think you went up Mount Terrible and
Mount Terrible,
Woods Point Way, and all the area out the back
Woods
way.
Point, and that's where Miles drowned one of the bikes, unfortunately.
He didn't tell me about that.
Got a bit cocky in one of the river crossings, and let's just say he's lucky that I was there, because I got the bike going for him in the end.
That's good. It's always that. Miles doesn't fall over very often, so it's always good to get one
a river.
over.
Yeah, it's not a good place to fall over.
And so you rode an Adventure rather than a standard GS, and they're sort of about 30 kilos up and a lot bigger than a normal GS.
Yeah.
And I hear they put a new set of tyres on for you, but 200 k's later they were slicks.
Yeah, they were slicks after the end of the first day. The run into Jamieson, there's some tight, from Mount Terrible to Jamieson, there was some tight, windy roads along there. I think it was about 40 k's maybe, and me and Miles, I did a bit of motard racing back in the day, and so did Miles, and to be honest with you, it was like racing a motard bike. It was so much fun. If there was any police there, we probably would have got in a whole heap of trouble, but fortunately we had the road to ourselves, and it was just like, reminded me of being a kid back when I was growing up, just up the street. There used to be plenty of open space, and I used to get up there with a few friends, and on the side of this hill, and we had a grass track, and we just used to ride until it was dark and just race each other just for the sheer fun of it. And that's what it was. It was great to get out there and just experience that Mother Nature. And the best thing was we were fully self-sufficient. I had a night bag packed on the back of the bike, strapped down, so when we got to Jamieson, I had a shower, got into some normal casual wear. I had my little kit there, brushed my teeth. We had a great meal down there, a counter meal at the pub, and then good bed for the night in the pub, and get dressed again in all your gear next morning and hit it again. It was great.
And it is good fun. And I've stayed at that Courthouse Hotel before, and we actually rode that Eildon Jamieson road that you're talking about with Corsa and Haslam after the World Superbikes this year, and Haslam wanted to see if he could get his knee down on the on knobblies on the 800 GS, and he did succeed, and ripped a hole out of his knee out of his brand new BMW riding suit. So it certainly is good fun out there.
For sure.
And so you'll be hitting him up to go do it again, no doubt?
Yeah, they're going to take Melandri and Haslam out there, and I said to Miles that I have to be on the invite list because me and Miles had some big battles. We went from Woods Point across to some big pub that was in the middle of nowhere, and I can't remember what the name of it was.
McAdams Gap?
Yeah, McAdams Gap, that's it. And then we left from there, and there was some tight, twisty, but very wide dirt roads that are obviously for the logging trucks. And Miles and I were side by side the whole way, just sliding the whole way. It was so much fun. And the GS just had so much, bottom end torque that you just leave it in fourth gear and just idle it sideways the whole time. And we're looking at each other sideways, laughing and giggling the whole way. It was great fun.
It is, and like you say, you never expected to have so much fun on a big adventure bike, big dual sport bike like that.
Yeah.
Because like I say, you've always rode race bikes, and I've said that to a lot of people over the years as well, because I've always scoffed at it before I did it, and everybody else before they've had a go at it sort of scoffs at it. But in some ways, I think it's the future of riding for a lot of people, because we can't really get away with doing much stuff on the roads on sports bikes these days, because they want to lock you up. So
I think it gets back to that. You actually get that feeling of freedom and that you get when you're a kid the first time you learn how to ride a bike, and because you're not racing and you're just out with some mates, it's a real sense of adventure. And it was great. It was just awesome experience, and I actually want to get a GS 1200 now, and hopefully I can win another championship and make BMW give me one.
Good on you. Failing that, I'm sure you'll get good mates rates.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to season 2012. We're catching up with you today at Phillip Island when you're testing out here, just doing some laps along with a ride day.
Yeah.
Wayne told me you already got down to 34s or something today.
Yeah,
is that right?
we've done some 34s, and I mean that's faster than I went at the last round, but I was carrying an injury. I think just towards the end of the year, I suffered a little bit getting hurt with that injury to my left tricep, and along with not being able to get much track time, and struggled a little bit at the very last round here, but we've found the issue there, and I'm feeling really confident that when we get here to race, I'm going to be right on the pace, and you got to win you got to win everywhere you go, and I guess it's maybe a little bit unfortunate that we keep going to one track all the time. I think we got 3 rounds here this year, and it is a great track, but it doesn't really show a rider's all over ability. Like I think if you look at the series as a whole, if we only went to each track once, you probably see over the years, the last few years especially, there probably would have been a different champion. Last year I believe there probably would, not 2011 when I won, but 2010. I believe there probably would have been a different champion that year, and maybe even the year before, but unfortunately there's not enough tracks available for us to do 8 rounds and go to a different track every time, which would be great, but it is what it is. I wish we could go to Eastern Creek, home track for me, and I've never ridden the BMW there, but I just know that the BMW would be amazing around Eastern Creek, and I really want to get back there, and hopefully whatever issues there are can be resolved in the years to come. But as far as 2012 goes, we've been going exceptionally well. I did a lot of training over Christmas break, and I didn't actually get to do any partying at all because I was moving house. So I was training, and then from like 6 o'clock every morning I would go and train, and then I would try and move the house for the rest of the day, and I didn't get to do any partying at all, and which is good and bad. Like I needed a bit of a stress relief, but at the same time, I'm here. It's the start of the year. I'm fresh, and I feel really good. So I think we're going to have a strong 2012 with the BMW.
And there's been a few little changes for this year, isn't there? You're running a new shock, trying that out here.
Yeah, we're going to run a new shock with the DVS at the moment. We're testing it out for the first time today, actually. Like, I've done 2 sessions on it now, and it all seems really positive. Dave from Cruise Tune, actually, he makes the shocks himself, so he knows them inside out, and he's been my suspension tech last year with me in the championship season. So we're going to run different fork internals and different shock. I am familiar with all the gear because I've used it before. But you know, with suspension, I think the key ingredient is that you're only as good as the guy that's setting up your suspension. And I've got a really good guy with Dave, and we communicate really well. And you know, he can only do whatever feedback I give him is all he can try and help to fix. So that's why I think we've got a good relationship, and the results are good on the track because we communicate well. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. We've already gone really well on the shock, so it's going to be something interesting. And yeah, look, there's a whole bunch of new parts. The 2012 bike's a lot different. It's got a swing arm pivot that's different. There's a few other things that are different with the ECU, and the front end's a little bit different with the triple clamp offset. So it all points in the right direction. Like all the things that I actually wanted, for the new bike, they've put it on there. Not because of me, it's just I had nothing to do with it. They just make the bikes. I don't think they really listen to anything that we do over here in Australia. But turns out they changed what I wanted to try. So it's going to be exciting. And yeah, we've got a little bit different team with a restructure of a few of the mechanics, the way it's run, and it's already running really well. I'm really happy with the dynamic within the team. We all get along well, and yeah, I'm feeling strong and motivated to try and win another championship because I'm only 30 now, but I feel like the realisation's starting to happen that you can't do it forever. Like when I was 22, I thought I could have done it forever and ever, but I think I maybe got 6 or 7 good more years in me. So and this year's going to be excellent. I've got a really good opportunity, so I've got to grab the bull by the horns and try and win another one.
And have you been on the 2012 bike yet, or are you going to get that in a couple of months?
It's we've actually got it sitting up there in the shed. It's here. We do plan on running it, but we're just trying to sort of get the shock sorted first on the bike that we know works with the 2011 model. Ran a setting that we had from the start of the year, and it worked really well. And now we're back to backing the new suspension to try and sort of match what we can do, so we know we've got a good bed to start from. Take the suspension and put it on the 12 bike and start from there, so that we're actually comparing apples to apples instead of trying new suspension on a new bike and not knowing whether the suspension is the thing that's better or holding us back or where we're at. So we're just doing that today, and tomorrow we'll probably hit the track with the new bike and with the new suspension, and yeah, hopefully do some good times.
All right, well, if we don't see you in between, we'll see you here late next month, and good luck with getting everything together ready for that season opener in conjunction with the World Superbike Championship here late in February.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. It's going to be a big year with the Procon Maxima BMW.